Recording. All right, there we go. So yeah, tonight we're just gonna do a getting started call and basically just walk you through the first 8 steps to start your business. But we don't know you guys. I would love it if you're able. I know some people are probably just listening and can't be on live talking, but I'd love to meet you guys if that's okay. If we could go around, I'd love to know just a little bit about you and what brought you to Shackley, how you're connected with Josh. I always feel like that's kind of fun to learn.
I can go first.
Awesome.
Yeah, I DJ'd his wedding, him and Melinda.
No
way.
So yeah, I own a DJ company, and so I was fascinated with them. I've rented his I don't know how much he wants me to say, but I've rented his house in Florida. His he has a house down in
Yeah,
Florida,
Panama City, yeah.
and I rented that from him. I just feel like I'm connected to him.
Very cool.
So yeah, that. I'm willing to give this a shot. I have some other stuff. I have a lot of my hands in a lot of pots, but
Hmm.
this is something that I've done this since I was a child, really, with ACN, TCN, Excel, Amway. There are hundred of them, and it's I've had moderate success with all of them, but I think this is a better fit.
Oh, that's great. Awesome. Hi, Josh.
Hey, what's up?
We were just getting started. I said I'd love to meet them and kind of get to know how they're connected to you while we're waiting for you to hop on. So, I just heard that Dwayne DJ'd your wedding. That's pretty fun.
He did, yeah. He DJ'd the wedding. That was so much fun. You could ask him. It was one of the best weddings ever.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. And he rented your house in Florida, which I'm kind of jealous of because we want to go there sometime and rent that out.
Well, I mean, you guys can go with us. We'll
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
I was gonna say we gotta meet halfway somewhere.
it'll
So
be all right. Yeah, you guys, we'll go together for sure. Bring all the kids.
Yes. Kelly, how about you?
Hi, how are you guys?
Hi.
Um, so I am new to MLM structures, but I'm not new to clean products, let's say. So I have purchased from Shackley before, also through Melaleuca. I was a beauty counter customer for quite a few years. So that was a shock when that just happened. But I don't really know Josh and Melinda. I just know them through social media
Oh,
and
awesome.
Body. But I've seen what they've been able to do, and this is something that I've been looking to do to supplement household and saw their passion and decided to give it a shot. So I'm new and here to learn.
yeah, it's awesome.
That is so cool. I love that. Very, very cool. And then Nicole said she has been following Josh and she's a one-star coach, awesome, or partner, whatever they're called now. I know, we just realized we're like all shackled out over here in green. We did not plan that,
I even got a green cup. It's we're all in.
um, all right. I don't, Jennifer, are you able to share?
Yeah, I think I unmuted myself. So I was with Body for 11 years, and had left probably about 2 years ago. But I've been following Josh for like forever. He was not my upline coach, but I liked everything that he posted. He's just down to earth and very real. And um, when everybody started changing, I was like, well, maybe I'll go back into the network. I've been following him and I was kind of like I was interested in what he was going to be doing and where his home is or his rental home is. That's my hometown.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
actually
Oh,
I'm from an hour away. I'm actually but I'm from the Destin, Florida area. So Panama City was always my spring break place when
oh
I was a
yeah,
kid.
that's
So
awesome.
yes. Um, but I thought I would give network marketing a try again.
I love that. That's awesome. Very, very cool. Let's see who else. Rob. Hi, Rob. We know you, but I'd love to meet you again. You can tell everyone else.
Am I allowed to speak or no?
Yes, we're just kind of going around introducing.
Oh, cool. Hi, what's up, everyone? How you doing? I just I got my first ambassador today. I'm very excited. Yay!
Heck yeah, man. Congrats, brother.
Thank you, thank you. Very
Big
excited.
deal, man. It's a big deal.
Yeah. What's the topic of the call tonight?
Yeah, we're gonna go through the getting started guide. We're just gonna what is your background is like super cool. What are
Oh, I'm at my girlfriend's apartment right now. She has like all
Oh
these
my
different
God,
lights.
we're
Yeah, she's like,
partying.
yeah, it's very sparkly.
I love that. That's
Yeah,
great.
she's like into like decorating and stuff. It's awesome. I love it here. It's very nice. Yeah,
Aw.
she's in the background right now. She's doing want to say hi?
I won't say
Yeah.
hi.
Making
my
Hi, Rob's
sister's
girlfriend.
chart for her wedding.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she her sister's wedding's on Sunday, so she's like doing the seating charts and stuff. So
Oh,
she's
my
ready.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
Mhm.
Awesome. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get started. So, yeah, really what we wanted to do tonight, and we're gonna tag team with Josh too, just wanted to go over our getting started guide that we have for our team. I know some of you have looked at it. Some of you have already been going through it. I think Rob's completely done with it already, which is awesome. But we just kind of wanted to go through that quickly and just make sure that you are clear on the things that you can be doing to really get them like launch your business. So we'll get into that. But Josh, did you want to start with anything before we get into that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, no, my brain's fried. It's done. Like I think I've had 24 calls in the last 3 days or 2 days, so it's just stupid. But
Jeez.
no, guys, I'm excited for everything that's happening on this team, the momentum that we have, the energy. I mean, I think everybody feels it, and it's weird because I know a lot of you guys have been from Beachbody, and it just felt like the energy was drained from that company, and therefore from all of us coaches who've been a part of it for so many years. And this is so refreshing, and I think I've used that word so many times in the last 3 days. Just so refreshing to be a part of something that we believe in again, and we can be passionate again, and that energy is contagious. And I think that's something that's going to be big for us as we move on, because you get on the phone and you just have that energy, and people just want to have that energy with you. So I'm really excited at the growth that we're already experiencing as a team, and I'm really proud of everybody. Rob, man, for your first coach, it's a really big deal, man. Or coach, good Lord. I'm so used to saying that, but first ambassador, that's a really big deal, man. And I know you've been just busting your ass, and it's starting to pay off, man, which is great. And it's only 4 days in, so it's amazing, man. But all the rest of you, everybody who's new, I'm so thrilled to have each and every one of you guys on the team, and very blessed because everybody's good people, and that's very hard to say, but I've been impressed with everybody I've talked to. So I'm excited. I'll let you guys just kind of take it from here, and I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to be learning too from this. So
Awesome. Yeah, I think you're so right though. The energy and like refreshing is like the perfect word. And what's cool here too, though, you guys, is like the people that have been here for 20 years, they still feel that way. And I think that just says a lot about the company and, where we're headed to for decades to come. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. If you could just tell me if you can see that. You guys see that?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go through this. I know, like I said, some of you have already seen this, some of you haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but we're just going to start going through the steps. So the first page, this page is just the compensation plan. This is also in the back office. There's lots of resources. If you log in and then click on My Business and then go under training, there's a lot of training about the comp plan. But really what you need to know are these first things right here as you're getting started. So whenever you have a new customer order through you, you get 30% commission on anything that they order their first 30 days. So that's really huge because, those commissions can add up quickly as you have people purchasing. Because most purchases, I would say, like are around, if they start with the Ready Set Wellness bundle, which we'll talk about, that's right under $200. So you can kind of calculate, how that can start adding up. And then on top of that, anytime you help 3 people and those orders total $500, then you get a $75 bonus. And you can do that 15 times a month, which is really motivating once you get going, because once you help 3 people get started, then all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, if I do that again, then I'll get another $75. So that's a really neat part of the front end of the comp plan. And then this next part is important too. And I wanted to touch on that because it's very different. Retail business here is very different than at Body. So at Body, you would get a percentage of commission. It went down, obviously, but you would get that percentage. But basically, what they would tell you is, you really are never going to get to making significant income with just retail business. Like, you really have to build a team if you want to see significant income. Well, here it's different because once you build up your customer base, you can earn up to 40% commission. So there's people here, as they piloted out this new comp plan, there's people here that are simply just focused on sharing the products with customers, and they're earning 6 figures a year just doing that. Now, obviously that takes time and you have to work hard to get there, but that can be a really neat way to especially get started in this space, because especially I think Kelly, for someone like you, you're so new here. I just had someone brand new come in with from network, or that wasn't a network marketing, and she started and just got familiar with the product. She started selling, and then she started bringing, now she's to the point where she's ready to bring teammates on. But I love that my new ambassadors who are going for director in that first month, a lot of them don't even have any people under them. They're just selling the products, and they're earning around $1,300 to $1,400 in their first month if they're focused on hitting that director, which is about $3,000 in sales. Then the second month, depending on how many orders you have and how many dollars you sell this month, that determines what you fall into the next month. If you're on returning customers, you'll then earn between 10 to 40% commission. Jake, do you want to touch on that real quick? Just kind of how you see that, because he tracks everything for us. So he can we were talking about this today, how we really think it's important for people to know the difference here, that if you have to really focus on both if you want to maximize the comp plan.
Yeah, I mean, that's like tonight's obviously 101, but for those of you who are really trying to push and grow and make, I think there's a massive opportunity to make money here. And that's why we fell in love with the company. I mean, while everybody's making their decisions right now in 24 hours, we sat there for 2 months looking at it, meeting with everybody, reviewing the comp plan, deciding to make our move from Body before it went belly up. So you have to, like, in order to maximize this comp plan, you have to understand that there is a component of it that is going to be straight customer sales. So we're seeing a lot of people in the organization right now jump with their PTV, and you're seeing director quals and all that kind of stuff. You're going to gain PTV when you're signing up an ambassador or a customer. So that's going to grow, and that's going to allow you to hit director. That's also going to allow you to rank advance, bonus advance, all that kind of stuff. So there is this component to for those of you who want to build, there is a component of it that you need to be bringing on ambassadors. In order to maximize the comp plan, you also need to be having retail sales. And I know I mentioned this to Josh because Josh is busting. Our push the first couple weeks when we first transitioned was like, okay, we got to get to like 2,000, 3,000 in customer sales. Like, have to. By the end of the month, we have to. So Amber's busy bringing over people to join her initially, and we're signing them up as ambassadors. But meanwhile, we're also talking about product, trying to make product swaps, trying to convert people over from Shakeology to Life Shake, from Energize to our pre-workout, whatever we're having to do to try and make our sales. So we've got this component of our business that's ambassadors and team building and trying to find people to help us build our PTV and OV. But we also have people that we're just simply selling product to, and you need to balance both. So initially, if you really want to get to a point where you're maximizing the comp plan, you got to hit that. What is it? I think the $3,000 mark guarantees that you at least get 30%, or is it 25% next month?
We'll look at the chart.
We can look at the chart. Anyways, so you want to get into that like 2,500, 3,000 mark on month 1, if you can. And then month 2, you really want to be pushing over that 5,000 mark. And then you're looking at like 7,500, 10,000 in product sales. And that's just simply to get yourself to that 40%. Again, if we go into deep 201, 301, there's so many different tiers and ways that you can make sure that you're maximizing your money and earnings, but you do have to be mindful of that. If you solely sign up ambassadors, when you go to next month, you're not going to be maximizing your comp plan because you're going to revert back to the lowest tier for any product sales that come through. Outside of new customers will always be at the 30%, but any returning people who place loyalty orders, you're not going to be getting the full commission that you could be.
So there's a lot more there if you want to dive into that. We're just going to touch briefly on the comp plan tonight. All right, so moving on to how to launch. And let me just make sure I have the chat here too open so that I can see questions. Okay, I don't think I missed anyone yet. Okay. All right, so we're huge in like, and Josh is too, I know, and just having like real connections with people. You know, social media is important, but I would say like the best thing you can do when you start your business is to have those behind the scenes conversations. So the step number one that we have in this launch plan is talking to people that you know, talking to people that you work. If you're coming from a different company, talking to people you worked with over there. If you're brand new, then you know, you're going to be talking to people that you know and trust. So basically just giving them a life update. So what I did when I moved over here is because I think it's kind of, it feels impersonal sometimes. Like if you know someone and then they share a life update on social media, you're kind of like, well, gosh, like I didn't know they were doing that. But if someone reaches out to you and says, hey, just FYI, I have this life update. I'm actually going to be partnering with this new company. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm so excited because it has all these things. And so what I did is I didn't even ask them anything at first. I just basically said, hey, wanted to give you this update. I didn't want you to see it on social media. I wanted you to hear it from me personally. So, you know, if you have any interest, like feel free to let me know, but I just wanted to kind of just fill you in on what I have going on. And, you know, you'll be surprised as to how much that means to people. Like people would tell, so a lot of people would be like, wow, like that was so nice that you thought of me. Like you definitely wasn't expecting you to have to like go above and beyond and tell me one-on-one, but that really means a lot. And so having those conversations. So with point number one, I would just make a list of the people in your life that you want to tell personally, that you're going to be doing this thing with Shaklee, and just be excited. Share your passion, not just like I'm doing this, but why? Because you know, people are going to trust you and want to work with you if they really know your deeper meaning and why behind it. So number one is just behind the scenes conversations. Do that before anything else. And then we can kind of get into the more fun stuff here. So on step number two, I say sorry, I'm distracted by Jake typing. Step number two is opening up a new Facebook group. So essentially this group is going to be a free group where you can share about Shaklee with anyone who expresses interest. So what I did is I opened up this group, we put a Facebook cover on it. We have the template right here, so you can go look at that. And so anyway, you open up this free group, and then that's where you're going to kind of have all of your information about Shaklee and everything else. So when you do your first announcement post, you're not necessarily going to say which company you're partnering with. You're going to sort of create that curiosity. So this group then is going to be a place where you can go live. Like I have, you should see my desk right now. I have products all over my desk because I did a live video in my free group today, but just educating all about what Shaklee is, why you decided to join it, all that kind of stuff. So that's why we're opening up that group. Now, before you actually do your post on social media, if you do have an email list, you can send an email out to anyone that you know is on your list, just letting them know about your update. I have my template right here if you need that. If you're brand new and you don't have an email list, that's okay. Just start now. It's never too early to start an email list. I think for most people, they would say like starting an email list is just so important, even if you have just a few people on there, to get in the habit of collecting their emails and having a place that you can communicate with your leads. So starting either creating an email list or starting and sending that email out, or just thinking about starting one is step number 3. So then number 4 is the announcement on social media. So when you think about social media, I mean, Josh does a really good job of this, so you've got a great example, but it's all about building trust with people and just really being real. And so, I think we've all had those friends in our lives who've like posted graphics and like of what they're selling, and it just feels kind of spammy. We don't want to come across like that. We really want people to know our hearts and like why we're doing this. So when you're writing your post for social media, basically what you want to do is just share your story. So share, why are you excited about this? Why is this something that's interesting to you? And within the health and wellness field, there could be a lot of reasons that you're starting something like this. Whatever is true to you and authentic to you, like have that in your social media post. If you're moving from body, I would say follow more of like Josh's example, how he shared what he was doing, how he was moving. If you're brand new, your post is going to look a little bit different. What I suggest is like drafting it up and then reaching out to Josh, or you can reach out to me, and we can help you kind of draft it and make sure you feel confident about what you're going to put out there. But what you're going to do at the end is you're going to have a call to action, and your call to action isn't going to say, I'm joining Shaklee, who wants to buy from me? It's going to say, who wants to learn more? So you're going to, the words that I have here is add me. So you're going to ask them to comment, add me if you want to be added to my Facebook group, or you could go the route that Josh went, which was also great. It's very similar, just a tiny bit different, where he said, comment if you want, is comment product if you're interested in the product, or comment business if you're interested in the business. It doesn't really matter exactly what you do. I thought Josh's was brilliant and it really worked for him. So maybe you just copy that. But you do need a call to action, because if people read your post, they have to know what to do next. And if you're not including a call to action, they're just going to be like, okay, cool. And you won't have that many people engaging. So make sure that you get help with that social media post. I know, especially if you're new to this, it can feel, and even if you're not, like it can feel nerve-wracking to put yourself out there. So feel free to ask us for any help at all as you're crafting that post. We'd love to help you. So that's number 4. Before I move on, does anyone have questions? Okay. All right.
Scroll up. There's
All right.
one more.
Okay, Nicole's asking, does it make sense to sign up a spouse as a customer? So let me explain kind of the different ways to sign up. So we have a regular retail customer, and then we have a preferred member, but here preferred member equals customer. It's just a customer that gets a discount. So that's what you will do with a spouse account. You cannot have 2 people in the same household be ambassadors, but one of them can be a customer. So you'll just sign them up as a customer. But I wanted to, I should explain that process too, how that works. So you don't have to do anything extra on your end as an ambassador. Whenever you send a link, it will automatically sign that person up as a preferred member right now, because they have this deal going on where any size order, you automatically become a preferred member. So it will just show the membership in their cart at 0, and then they will get 15% off for life. There is no monthly fee or anything like that. But it's very rare that someone actually signs up as a regular customer. Almost always they're going to end up being a preferred member. Okay, what else? Rob is asking about email. So what I did is I used my body email, like I used my list and I sent that out. I just have an unsubscribe button. So I figured, you know what, if they really don't want to stay on my email list, they can just unsubscribe. That's how I did it.
And then they're dead to us anyway.
You don't need permission to send. You don't need permission to send an email. You just have to have a opt out.
Okay, that's what I feel.
I unmuted for the question. So you're recommending Flowdesk, right? How does that work? Because I had MailChimp way back in the day, but I stopped using it because I had more conversion rates with direct messaging people.
Mhm.
But I would like, because I have the change of a body, I'm going to lose contact with a large portion of my customer base. So that's my concern. Once the office goes away, I'm not going to be able to send out direct emails from the office.
Right.
So how does Flowdesk work? Because I know MailChimp, you have to pay like a monthly fee to like send out a certain amount of emails. And do you use
Yeah.
Flowdesk? Like, how does this work?
Yeah, I use Flowdesk, so I just exported all my emails from Body, and then Flowdesk makes it really easy to import. It takes like literally 5 seconds to import them all in. It is very user friendly. There's others out there. I like Flowdesk because you can pick like it makes your email look really like sharp, and if you're wanting it to look more professional, they have a lot of different templates that can make that look good. But there's other ones. I like Flowdesk because it's pretty affordable. I forget exactly what I pay, but it's not as expensive as MailChimp. I know that's a lot more expensive. But I like it because it's very easy to create different templates. Like, I mean, it just makes it look so good. And it makes it look like you're some sort of designer and you're not, but I like it. I don't know, Josh, what do you use for email? There's so many good ones out there probably.
Yeah, I actually just used my josh@joshspencerfitness.com email, and I just email that from from
Yeah.
that one. You know, I've never
So-
really had an email system that I've used. I've just
Mhm.
always used that email.
Yeah, and there's really no right or wrong way. It's like really whatever works for you, you know?
Yeah.
So
So question. So Josh, you don't have like a bulk email list you send people bulk emails to, or you just send individual, like how do you do that exactly? 'Cause I'm leaning towards trying this out because like I said, like I have a lot of emails and I don't want anyone to fall through the cracks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, well, I'm in the kind of the same scenario as you right now because we have 50,000 people on our Beachbody client list, and
Yeah.
we're gonna have to find a way to transfer. I'm probably gonna use Flowdesk, honestly. I'm probably gonna use
Okay.
that. I don't know what else I would use, but I'm gonna have to start using an email system. So that's something that I just haven't gotten to yet. I just haven't had a chance to. But that's
Yeah,
definitely
I've been so busy with converting, and I'm literally busting my ass, getting on calls, talking to people all day long. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I get it. Like I can't think of anything else right now. It's very hard. But
I know, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
The other thing I like about Flowdesk is you can create a form for people to opt in. Like you can put a link on your Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and you can actually have them opt into your email list. So it's very, like I'm the same way. I mean, it's hard to make time for email stuff, but Flowdesk really is very simple. And to me, I found the price to be really fair too.
Yeah, you know, Wix has a really good system too that I've
Mm.
set up. I've set that up for her. I've set that up for me and my other websites that I've had where people can opt into it, and then we can actually schedule automated emails to go out to them on a timely basis.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's definitely a consideration. I'll look into Wix because I already have that set up. I think I bought an edition for that as well. And then I'll also look at Flowdesk and see which one makes the most sense.
Yeah.
And then,
Josh, keep me in the loop what you do and show me like what you like. Set something up. Let me know, and I'll probably follow suit.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I will for sure. I'll let everybody know what I do, by the way. I'll post that in the group. So
Mhm.
Rob,
Last question. I posted in the chat thing. I'll just say it aloud. So what is the payout difference between a retail customer and someone who has preferred membership? Is there a difference
and
between that,
that's
or
that's where you really have to understand the comp plan. So when people initially sign up that first month, they're going to be at that 30% commission.
yeah?
The second month, when you guys get into your back office, there's a little chart there, right at the top of your dashboard. You can see where you're at as far as customer sales. So when they sign up as whether it's a member, preferred member, retail, however they want to sign up, if they are signing up as a customer and not an ambassador, whatever you end up selling for product sales is going to be the commission amount you're paid at the following month.
Mhm.
Okay. And then when it comes to ambassador is at a fixed 16% of your tier one and down, like tier one, and then under them drops down to an 8%. So again, you can build ambassador wise, but if somebody is not going to actually work the business at all, it's in your best interest to actually sign them up as a customer. And then they can always upgrade and become an ambassador for you. But truly try and, like, this is a very different game than Body. You have to understand what the person's actually wanting to accomplish. And if they just want product, they're a customer. We don't need them for legs or balancing or anything like that. So sign them up as a customer. That's going to be in their best interest, your best interest. And then if they decide to upgrade later, they always can.
Mhm.
Does that make
Got it.
sense to everybody? Because it really is different. And I want to make sure, because I think everybody's going to be excited when they see their paychecks these first couple of times. And then like when it switches over to next month, we've already gotten a couple of messages from people being like, whoa, why is it down? And we're like, well, you only sold 500 in retail. So you're getting the lowest tiered commission payout. That's why you have to make sure that you're watching ambassador and PTV growth. And then you're also balancing that with customer sales.
Because we don't want you to have a customer that reorders next month and you only get a 10% commission on that customer. We want you to get up into the 20, 30, 40% every time.
So it's a little bit of a different game, but as long as you pay attention, you're always making money. You're always rewarded for your efforts. It's just a little bit of a different. And then also I'll say
One more question. I'm sorry.
one last thing. You guys will also
Yeah.
start getting what's called loyalty orders. And those are just people that are putting products on auto ship. So like that's where like building your customer base becomes really good, because all of those loyalty orders will also count towards your retail sales. So then like next month, you automatically get $2,000 in sales. Plus you go and you bring on $1,500 worth of new customer business. And that's how it starts building to a point where it's, 3,500, 4,000, 5,000 in loyalty orders. And that's how it makes it a lot easier to reach that 10,000 mark.
The last question I have. So, I signed up to an ambassador today, and she got like I think 2 life shakes or something. It was like $200. So I get 16% on that commission that from her. How does that work?
The first time, within her first 30 days, you'll still get the 30%. It's just when she
So even she's an
reorders.
ambassador.
Yeah, within her first 30 days. So you're good there. It's just when
Got
she
it.
reorders is when it goes to more the volume base. And then that's where your commission isn't going to be as high as it could be if she was a customer.
Got it. Completely got it. Okay. Got it.
Did I get all the questions over
Yeah.
here? Okay.
I've been keeping an eye on them. Chat, grant opening.
Okay, so after you have your social media post done, then the next thing to think about is the dates for your grand opening. So grand opening means it's going to be this window of time where you can offer a special offer to all of your new customers who place an order over 150 or more. So when they do that, when they place 150 or more, then you can offer them a free gift. And we have that set up with our team that corporate pays for that. So when you have your grand opening event, they'll get to then afterwards fill out a form, and we'll tell you how you can qualify for that from corporate in a little bit. But they'll essentially get to pick which free product they want. So when it comes to, yeah, I know, Nicole, the corporate is so generous here, and like we really have a good relationship with them. And so I feel really excited about that. So as far as your grand opening, what I suggest typically is to pick a Wednesday through a Sunday. So I think right now what we should do is just open up our calendars and kind of look at the rest of October here so you can feel confident about when you want to do your grand opening event. So for those of you that have already posted, I would say you could have your grand opening event be next week, like the 23rd through the 27th. If you haven't posted yet and you want to in the next day or two, I think you could still pull off those dates. But essentially what you're going to want to do is start educating your group. So let's say you get your announcement post up, then you're going to open up your Facebook group, start getting people in there. You're always going to be inviting to your free Facebook group because that's just going to be a nice place for you to take care of your leads. But then what you're going to do is announce, okay, these are the dates for my grand opening event. So it's going to be a Wednesday through a Sunday. So you could say my grand opening event is going to be the 23rd through the 27th. And I like those dates for October because we all know that like the last week of October with Halloween in there, like the last thing that moms and families are going to want to think about is placing an order with you. They're going to be like hanging out with their kids. So to have as much as you can for October goals be done before Halloween, the better. So for that grand opening event, we'll talk a little bit more about that as we keep going here, what that looks like, how you can qualify for the free stuff from corporate. But does that make sense? Like that that will be what you do in your group is just like this 5-day period where you can publicly say, okay, if you place an order now, you can choose a free gift. What I did too, though, because I didn't want people to feel like, oh, if they placed an order before that they didn't qualify. So when I announced my grand opening, what I said is, if you've already placed an order for 150 or more, you are also going to be included in this. I will honor this for you. And then after the fact, though, like after the event ended, I also used the gift behind the scenes to follow up with people. So you'll have people that are interested, and then after the grand opening event, you can follow up behind the scenes and go, hey, I know that you were thinking about grabbing some products. I wanted to let you know that I can still offer this. Like, this is good through the end of October. So it's a good way that you can use it before, during, and after, really the whole month of your event, to be able to offer that for them, just like behind the scenes. Oops. Where did that go? Oh, this is my actual copy. Okay. Okay, does that make sense? 150 or order. Okay. But really what's going to be important in that Facebook group is sharing information about Shaklee, because, a lot of people don't even know what Shaklee is. And so that's why it's going to be important that you get in there. I actually have a launch posting guide right here. So that's the next thing. Is I have a posting guide of like all the posts that I shared in my group, and you're welcome to join my group as well. I can post the link to my free group and you can join and just kind of peek in on how I do things in there. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll be able to see the live video that I did and kind of how I rolled that out. But really, it's just building trust with people, educating them. I would share things about the company, because it's all, at this point, it's all about exposures. If you're just asking them to buy and they don't know anything about the company, they're going to be like, that doesn't make sense. What is it, like 7 to 10 exposures before they really even before they even consider buying from you? So just exposing them to the company, the products, all of that inside your Facebook group. And that's going to be forever. That's not just for this launch event. Like, this is kind of the kickoff to your free group, but then you're going to be able to use this. Like, I'm still using it now to just educate, share. Every month I do my unboxing in there where I share about which products I got this month, why I'm loving it, things like that. So you're just going to use that as kind of your safe space for your free people. Also right now, while you, I listened to Go for No for network marketers. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Go for No. That's honestly, those old school books are like, it's so good though. It's still so applicable to today.
Hey, Amber,
Yeah.
have you guys ever toyed around with doing a team free group?
Yeah, you definitely can do that. What we found is it gets a little bit tricky if everyone's inviting to it, and then like you're posting, because like I post my link all the time in my group. Like, I'll do a live video and then I'll post my link.
Yeah.
So sometimes it gets a little bit tricky if people opt into your group and you have it together, because then
Well,
it's like, well,
we would talk about the ways that we keep track of our own people that we bring in, right? I'm just thinking it from like an energy standpoint.
yeah.
There's a
Mhm.
lot of people who maybe they can only get one person, you know what I mean? Or one or two
Yep.
people in a group. It's just not, there's not going to be any energy or momentum in there at all.
Mhm.
Whereas if we have a bunch of people and then all of us are in there at the same time posting, well, hey, this is what we're using, this is what we like. And it's not just me speaking, it's Rob and it's also Kelly and everybody else in there. The
Mhm.
energy is going to be completely different. So
That
maybe,
I suggested that like we have a prospect group that we just add everyone into, as opposed to like we leverage each other's efforts. That's what that was the idea that I had. So when I initially was trying to sign up, I was okay. Is there like something I asked Josh? Like I was like, oh, is there like a team page I could be a part of that I could like see what's going on like outside of
Mhm.
becoming an ambassador, because I was trying to make my decision at the time. And I was thinking of that myself. I was like, if I'm thinking this, if I want to see what's going on, my prospects are 120% going to think the same exact thing. So
Yeah.
I
well,
think it's a very good idea that we like band together and just make a prospect group or something like that.
okay, well, I think there should be two groups. I think one should be a prospect group. I think
Yeah.
the other should be a client group from a customer standpoint where we talk about products. I think it's
Yeah.
very possible to do that as a team. I think there'd be a ton of energy in there because we're all going to be posting in there. So
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, Amber, have you guys ever thought about doing that?
Yeah, I think it's honestly, I think it just is gonna kind of be
Yeah.
team by team, whatever's best and whatever you guys want to do. Because I can totally see that being awesome too, you know? The way
Yeah.
we have it now is we each have our own groups, but then we have a client group together that we all have together. So it's kind of like after everyone's connected, then they're all together. But
I also just want to like on my end, we did do that a long time ago with a big thing that made us like put us like on the map at Beachbody called Take Back the Kitchen.
Yeah.
And that thing was like massive, 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 like tens of thousands of people that had joined that. It does become really messy when Josh brings somebody into that page and they end up buying through us. And that was what we started running into a little bit with certain people that I still don't trust to this day. Josh knows who I'm talking about. So that is the only thing that does get a little bit sloppy is when all of a sudden, like Jennifer, who was talking to Amber forever, just signed up with Josh because she really liked Josh's energy. So like that is the one thing you kind of have to figure out. And like the scary thing is you kind of think that like, oh no, it'd be great. Like I'll know who my prospects are. They'll be respectful of that. Like some
Right.
people do and some people don't, unfortunately. That would
No,
be
that's,
the only parameter that you have to kind of think through.
yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, maybe while we have things small, we do that, right? I mean, because we're just now starting as a team. Maybe we do something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll think about it. I'll think about it, and maybe I'll talk to you guys in the group, and we'll figure out a solution.
yeah, I think there's probably so many great ways to do it. And yeah, I think that it's like that's what this business is just, you know, tweaking and trying new things. And that could be really cool. I know, Rob, when you had that idea, I was like thinking that would be really cool. So if you could figure it out, I think that would bring the energy level way up.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, Jake made a very good point. That's I don't so I had issues in my own group, my Legion of Fitness group. I've had people poach people from me, like coaches, like I've had people steal customers and stuff from me, and it was very bad. So I did run into that at some point. I don't know. I don't I guess maybe we have to like really sit down and talk about this, but that could be an issue.
There might be a healthy way of doing it where something to, right now, all y'all need to worry about building your customers' trust, generating product sales, finding ambassadors, because they're all out there. And I'll tell you this too, because right now, like a lot of people are going to get notoriety and recognition because they're bringing all their body business over. But like some of our best coaches right now that, might not get as much love because they're not from a big giant downline are like non-body coaches who had nothing to do with body. Some of them that have never even been in MLM and they're succeeding at Shackley. So all this other stuff, like honestly, in my opinion, is a little bit more like 201, 301. We got to get, at least a little bit of lift off here. And then as you start generating, sales and momentum of your own, then I think like, that's where like that's where you're going to get more of Josh's time. That's where you're going to get more of Amber's time because like, man, we want to give like every last resource we possibly can for you guys to achieve whatever level of success that you want here. But for today's purposes, like, the steps to launch is really like, this is like the backbone, the foundation of your business is finding a way to start generating interest, driving product information. I mean, Josh had such a great post a couple of days ago. That's just like we all have to learn about these products, become proof of the products, show that the products are working, that you're getting results from them, that you're feeling good. Like, and I know I commented like, there's the cost aspect, which I think is just in our favor. But ultimately, people are going to buy from you because they trust you, because you're getting results, because you passionately believe in the products. And that's really what we're trying to like help you guys get to right now is creating those conversations on how do we do that, at the initial launch point.
Eugene had a question about, he said, can we review products like in a blog style format on a website as another avenue to drive interest? Yeah, for sure. I think that's really smart. I have a blog. I need to do more on it. And I used to though with body, I would do that all the time.
As Josh said the other day, like every product can't be a home run. I'm like, I love Life Shake.
Yeah.
I love Meology. I
Yeah.
tried the shampoo. I love that too.
Yeah, there's gonna be products. There's just no way you can love all 300 plus products.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'll turn my,
Eugene.
I'll turn my camera on here and say I was just curious because I mean there's obviously a lot of ways to drive, interest in products, but I
Yeah.
think if it's just focused purely on Shackley, it'll some people are turned off by just that, right? So if you could do a more
Yeah.
overall like wellness approach, I mean, Josh, you probably talked to us about this a bunch, right? No seed oils, like what you're eating, what you're doing for workouts, why they work, like more of an overall wellness approach. And these are the other products that I'm using to complement that.
Mhm.
Maybe you can drive traffic in that way is kind of how I was going to look at it. I'm coming from the outside, not part of the Beachbody community. I'm just someone that's followed Josh for years. So it's going to be probably a little bit more of a different approach for me because I'm not bringing a whole network of people with me, like some of the other
Mhm.
people that are joining up.
Hey,
Um,
Eugene, I want to speak on the
yeah,
SEO stuff real quick
yeah,
because when I started Beachbody years ago, that's the same scenario that I was in, where I had no previous network marketing, experience or anything like that. And the thing that really built my business was my ability to use SEO to drive traffic to my blog.
yeah.
So
That's how I found
I
you back
actually
then.
yeah, so I mean, I purchased courses. I actually, I made a deal with somebody who signed up as a distributor under me to teach me. There was all kinds of stuff that I did to learn the SEO. So that was a huge part of my business. And if it's something that you have a good understanding of how to do, man, take advantage of that because I think that's a lost art anymore. I think it was big back when I started, and then it just faded away because everybody was doing it. But now everybody's shifted right back to social media marketing. And
It's
I
the
think
same
that
thing. It's how you drive it in social media now more than it is blog posts. But yeah, same thing. It's
same thing,
SEO for
right?
social
So
media.
I think there's a huge opportunity there for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm. And honestly, I think like it's refreshing to hear ideas like that because like since you are outside, like you have so many good new ideas that could be so much better than what we even are doing. So I just think that's really cool that you're thinking that way because it's different and it's something that is going to stand out to people. So that's really smart.
Kay asked a question back to compensation. Maybe we do another call on compensation because I actually that's a little bit more in my arena, but nothing happens if you don't get customers in the first month because you wouldn't have any sort of reorders. Any customer at any time that orders within their first 30 days is at the 30%.
Yep.
Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, you're
'Cause
not.
I had to like think through that the first time I went back to Amber and I was like, oh my gosh, next month's gonna be so bad. And she's like, no, every time that somebody signs up their first 30 days, you're at
Yep.
30%.
Yep. But there's no penalties if you don't, and for a lot of people, that's going to take a little time just because you haven't tried the products yet. So,
Sure.
that's okay. Like it's okay if it takes you a little time to get your momentum going.
We're here for the long haul. So
Mhm.
we're not sprinters, we're marathon runners.
Ooh, that's a good idea too, to the recipes. Nicole helping with the recipes. That's a great idea. Okay, so in addition to posting, we'll get to step number 7 here. In addition to sharing in your free group, you're also going to want to start to sprinkle things into your social media. So I will say that for me and a lot of other people, like we sell a lot through Instagram stories. I would say like 85% of my sales come through Instagram stories right now. It's just like where I sell everything because it's like a behind the scenes kind of peek into your life. Now, it does take consistency and it takes kind of sharing the product over and over and over again before people start to build momentum and kind of are like, okay, I want to buy that. Like, I'll give you an example with these these natural Botox ones that we have with our beauty line, is that the first couple times I used them, it was like people didn't even see me doing it. They were just kind of like, what the heck is that? And then I kept sharing about them every day, educated how I use them, or I would use them, I'd put some music on top, I'd put some text on top. And I'm telling you, I'm telling you, yes, Nicole, they're amazing. I know we have guys in this call, but I will message you about them. They're amazing. So anyway, what we did was like, I just kept sharing about them. And all of a sudden, like I'm telling you, day 10, 11, then I finally started to have orders come through. So I think that's really important to remember is that like sometimes when you're new and you're sharing stuff on your stories and you don't get any bites, just hang tight and like keep going because eventually they'll catch on. But what I wanted to mention with this step number 7 is sprinkling stuff in. So like when you get your packages, because some of you are still waiting, some of you just got them, take photos of like you using the product. So what I actually have, and I'll send it to Josh, when I started, I would add text on top of my Instagram story posts. And so I started copying and pasting them into a note section on my phone so that I could share them with our team as we grew. So that way, like if you're sharing, let's say Meology, I have like a bunch of little blurbs all about Meology just saved so that you can copy and paste them onto your stories. But sprinkling stuff in, but you don't have to do it in a way that you're like sharing just the packaging or anything. So if you actually click on here, you can go to one of my story highlights to see how I did it when I started, kind of like how I started to sprinkle things in. Rob, oh, I saw part of that video when your camera dropped. That was so funny. I loved it.
Well, I will say one thing with specifically with the Meology and then with the way that you kind of brought people in, like for those of you who haven't done Meology, or maybe you're just doing like the vitalizer side of it, there's definite intrigue, I feel like. And one thing that's very unique about Shaklee as a company is the personalized multivitamin. So if you haven't taken the assessment, I would start by taking the assessment. You need to know what you're talking about there. But the thing that I love about the assessment is that it's free. And there is nothing on this planet that people across the world can agree on as they love free. So when you're just simply trying to create conversations and gauge interest, like who might be out there that's interested, understanding the Meology, you do a lot of those where she'll just simply put the vitamins in the palm of her hand, take a picture of it, put a little text overlay and like say, hey, message me if you want the free assessment. And I'm telling you, like, especially the first month that we first launched here, I bet you we sent out 1,000 assessments. And the thing that's really cool with your back office is that all of those are captured as leads. So anytime that somebody fills out the Meology assessment, it's going to drop in your back office under My Leads. So then you get all of their contact information and email. So there's some really good things that you can do just to, again, the thing that you do great with stories is always just trying to capture people's interest and then also find out like who might be out there that could be interested in what I'm trying to sell.
Yeah, I think always just sharing why you like the products. Like for example, I start saying like I take alfalfa every single morning because I love how it makes me feel. So instead of just saying like I love alfalfa, like this stuff is great. Instead, I'm like, I look so forward to my alfalfa every morning because it helps me not feel bloated and yada yada. Like you just share the why behind it, and then that helps me like, see why they could. Bless you. I think that was a sneeze. Okay. That's so funny.
Yeah, same thing. Back to education. Yeah. I think that's a huge component of what all of y'all are going to need to do is again, you got to learn the products that you like and how the products are working for you. But the thing that we're finding with a lot of people as they transition in, there's so much energy, right? We're all talking about the momentum, energy. It's palpable. You can't deny it. And like legitimately, I was looking at this before when we headed like on Friday, when we started to head into the weekend, we're at like 11,000 in OV. I just checked, like we're over 28,000 in like 4 days. Like it's crazy. There's so much momentum and energy. And like, I keep telling people like, ride it. But what happens is you come out the gates, you're all excited about the products. You kind of like, I'm an old school sales rep. So like the whole saying was like, you show up and throw up. You give people everything that you possibly got. You throw all the information at them. And then like a week later, you got nothing else to talk about. the key with inside your Facebook groups, inside your Instagram stories, is constantly finding ways to talk about the products, share different vantage points on the products, share different values, different incentives, different facts or research that you learned as you were studying on them. This whole like educate inside the Facebook group is like we're now what, 4 or 5 months in, and she is still constantly, like multiple times a week, educating people on the different product categories. So it's, again, back to I saw Nicole's comment about the whole like I'm a sprinter, but it is definitely a marathon of making sure that you are very consistent with both like usage and understanding of the product, but then also your education on why the products can bring people value.
Yeah, Nicole, that's a great question. So it is definitely both. Like you don't just want to be sell, sell, sell. It's like a lot of like you want to be sharing free value. And actually Shaklee has so much stuff. If you go to shakleetools.com, they have a bunch of things that like can educate about nutrition, and they have recipes, and they have so many things that if you go under wellness communities, there's so many free, like, and all the graphics are beautiful. So it's very easy. And even for Eugene, like your blog idea too, they would have a lot of resources. It doesn't even say Shaklee on it, but like it just has a lot of different resources about wellness in general. So that's a huge component, I think, to the free group, is just making it fun. And yeah, all that, like do whatever you want to do. I think those groups are really fun.
But we're also in the same genre that Josh talked about in his post a couple days ago, and then I just commented value ask. But we're like constantly trying to give people value, and then occasionally asking for business.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's number 8. So this one I wanted to talk about really quick, number 8, because this is another cool thing that corporate does for us, and this was actually Jake's idea, so I have to give him credit for it. But whenever you have, so when you open up your free group, and you guys can decide if you're going to do it together or not, and then from there we can figure out what this is going to look like for you. But the way that we have it as of now is whenever you get 100 or more people into your free group, then corporate will do a Meology giveaway. So you'll pick a winner. So Jake's idea was like, well, let's just have them all fill out the Meology quiz to enter the giveaway. So that has been like that was really huge for me in the first month, because I was able to get so many Meology leads. So what we did is every time we got to 100 people, and that might take some time depending on, like how long it takes to get people in. But when you get to 100, so every time you get 100 people in, then you can say, oh my gosh, like we have, Rob, that would be a lot of giveaways. 4,000. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. So it's anyway, so when you have for every 100 people, then corporate will give a month free of Meology. So then, we go into our Meology and you get all the names back there, and you do a giveaway and you announce it to the group. And that's a really great way to keep momentum going in your free group. And whenever you have your winner, just send it to Jake, because he keeps on top of corporate to make sure they get everything out to us. All right. I feel like I'm missing something really fun in the chat. Okay, so now to the grand opening. This is just, again, if you want corporate to cover your products, this is what we have set up with them. I love it because it's going to push you to work hard in your first month, and then you're going to get rewarded for it. So again, the deal is like the grand opening offer that you can offer is anytime someone purchases $150 or more, they get the free gift. So if you want corporate to cover that for you, you simply need to hit 2 star clubs. So that means selling at least to 6 people and getting at least $1,000 sold in product. So when you do that, then corporate will cover all of those gifts. So it's kind of like you have to bet on yourself a little bit. If you want to offer those grand opening prizes, it's like, okay, cool. But then if you want corporate to pay for them, like you just have to get to 2 star clubs. If that doesn't happen, then you have to pay for them yourself. So I like that kind of thing because it pushes me and helps me to kind of do more than I maybe would do otherwise. But this is the graphic of what they can choose from. So if they do the 150 or more, they can either choose a pre-workout, 7-day cleanse, the gummies, or the deodorant, just as like a fun gift from corporate. Again, that's for our team though, so please don't share that, like blast that on social media, because otherwise other teams are going to be like, why don't we get to do that? So that's just something that you're going to share inside your free group and behind the scenes. This is a video all about how to share links. I'll let you watch that on your own time. It's really simple. We covered some of that in the chat the other day, but let me know if you have any questions. The one thing that I do want to reiterate, because it came up, was when you are working from a phone, make sure that you're logged in. And then after you're logged in, make sure you click on My Business, because if you don't do that, then your name will not be in the link. So I still to this day double check every single link that it has my name in it before I send it, because sometimes when you're on a phone, it might appear that you're logged in, but you're actually not until you click on that My Business tab, and then it'll send the correct link. Recap of that. Okay, Longevity Club is, and this is the last thing, is our group for all of our ambassadors and our customers. So a lot of us that came from Body, having some sort of a community was really important. And so we wanted to do that, but also a lot of us were really burnt out running our own groups. And so we just do it all together. So anytime you have a customer, you're welcome to add them to Longevity Club. The link is right there. You can join it. I also posted it in the team page if you want to click on that link to join. But what we do is we start a new club the first Monday of the month. And so the first week is all about, we give people the option, if they want to do the 7-day cleanse, they can. If not, it's really just focusing on cleaning up your nutrition. And so we give some tips for that. And then in week 2, we're going to educate on how do you track macros. So we have a macros coach that teaches that, along with some other nutrition tips. And then in week 3, we kind of pivot and go more towards education on clean beauty and non-toxic living, so that then we can expose customers who maybe came over on wellness products to go, oh, we also have beauty and we also have home stuff. So it's a great way to pique their interest. So our team runs this group. So once you get to director, we're just kind of tag teaming. We have daily check-in posts. So every morning at 6 a.m. there's a check-in post. And so it's very similar to how we did things at Body. We still check in with our workouts and things, but it doesn't have to be Body workouts. It can be whatever you're doing. And then also just other healthy habits throughout the day. So like when you're taking your vitamins or when you're doing your protein shake or whatever, just checking in. So you'll find though that like there's a lot of people that don't even want that. They're kind of like, I just want to order through you. I don't need to be part of a group. But there are people that love that. So we wanted to have that as an option for anyone on the team. And then here, the last thing I'll share is this customer email. So whenever you have a new customer sign up, this is just an example of a thank you email that you can send to them. So this just has like, thank you for your order. And it's also going to have some tips for how they can get started. So take your vitamins with food, things like that. We just found that what was happening is people were getting in their Shaklee boxes and then they were like, when do I take my vitamins? How do I do this? How do I do that? So we tried to put every kind of question that we're getting right in the beginning in this email. And then it also is going to have a link for them to join Longevity Club if they want to. This Eating Well guide is awesome too. But yeah, just lots of resources so that when they join you, you can say thank you. Here's an email to kind of get you started with all the Shaklee products. Okay, that is it for the guide. What questions do you guys have?
I put it in the chat. I don't know how you get that Canva. I know Josh had mentioned it to me, but I don't see a link anywhere.
Oh, the getting started guide. Oh yeah, I'll pop that in the chat after so that you have it. It's in the team page too.
I probably overlooked it.
Oh, I know. And that's okay. If you ever can't find anything, just ask, because I know there's so much information that we're happy to help you guys find anything.
So I do have a question. It's kind of backtracking a little bit. So this is more like a comp plan kind of thing.
Bring it.
So should I be, so I really need to hone in on who actually wants to build the business.
100%.
And it's very important to sign up retail customers, right? So like I know I'm still in body land, still
Yeah, I
thinking
know.
about
I know.
We've said that multiple times, that people are going to
yeah,
have a rude wake up when they're, signing up everybody as an ambassador, and then next month they don't, they're going to get paid 16% of that person's orders. So like,
right.
if they
So
don't
do you
do
think
anything, now you're down 15% of what you could be making
It's
if
not
you
the
had just
food.
signed them up as a member.
so? That's very interesting to say, because what if someone's like, oh yeah, I do want to build a business, and then they don't really, like what they're
Yeah, I
just
mean,
stuck
they're
as an
they're going to be
ambassador,
at
I'm taking a
they're going to be
chance
at
on it.
16%. That's the thing that I would lean on, especially like, so many people are like manipulated by body to think that this affiliate thing's really good. You've got an affiliate option here, and you might as
Yeah.
well run with it. And like, people can always upgrade to ambassador, and there's going to have to be some sort of progression that people go to from like being a customer, and like maybe they're in your groups and they're really active, and you go, hey, like, have you ever thought about selling this?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how we
yeah,
found our very best coaches and partners when we were at Bodies. People who were just participating were like, hey, she could really do it, he could really do it.
yeah.
There's going to have to be something like that. But truly, like, when you're like chatting with people and you're really trying to like push product on them, and they go, oh yeah, I'll try the performance line. That shouldn't be this natural progression to go, okay, hey, I'm going to send you the ambassador link, because they're not going to sell. So right now they just want to try the product, send it to them as a member. Right now they get the automatic upgrade to preferred member, so they get 15% off for life. And
So
we didn't really talk about this, but like, there's no like monthly minimums or like any of that nonsense anymore that we used to have to deal with. You don't have to balance, like, you get your Wednesday nights back, like all that stuff is like, it's just kind of like gone. Like, the best thing for them is to sign up. If they simply want products, they should just sign up as a member right now.
perfect. So what I'll do then is, okay, so I'll mention it to them, like we have an ambassador program. If you're interested, if you're not, it's totally fine. If you really don't want to sell, then we could do the customer thing and see how everything goes. So that's what I'll do,
And
because
you need
yeah.
customers. So
Yeah,
like,
that's yeah.
a huge component to your comp plan is, if you want to maximize your earnings here, you need customers.
Great. Okay. I'm gonna yeah. Okay.
If I have someone
That's a
on
lot
the
of clarity right
fence,
there.
like if I have someone that's like, oh, maybe I'll want to do that someday, I'm like, you know what? Why don't you just start with the products? Let's see how you like them, and then we can talk in a few weeks and see once if you want to upgrade to ambassador.
That's
'Cause
very yeah.
there's no reason to rush them. It's better for you to take it. I know it's totally opposite here, but it really is better for you to have them as a customer.
Yeah, and I also want to just say, like, and I said this to we call them our OGs, like the people who came over with us initially. Like right now, it's this like wild rat race in our messenger threads and team pages where everybody's like dropping leaders. I mean, we brought over multiple like really good teams. We've got multiple really good teams coming over. So there's going to be this like big push from people who know what they're doing, who have established businesses and teams, where they're going to be announcing like, hey, this person's new, this person's new, this person's new. Don't fall victim to that. There's a lot of people that have to build this business from the ground up. We're all like, Josh is building from the ground up with us. We're building it from the ground. Like, we're just 4 or 5 months ahead of you building it from the ground up. Like, I just keep telling like the people that are like doing it and are like committed to being in this for the long haul, like, build this the right way. Lay a really firm foundation. Let's find really good people and bring them over. Let's get people trying product and becoming proof of product. We don't need to like feel like we're not enough because I'm not getting this person, or I'm not going director, or I don't have like an ambassador signing up, so I'm going to sign up 3 people who really shouldn't be ambassadors. Like, we just, again, this has got to be a long game if we want to do this the right way. So biggest thing, we just got to get product in people's hands right now.
Got it. Thank you. Really, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Well, I know it's getting late. Does anyone have any questions? Or Josh, did you want to cover anything else?
No, I don't think so. I'm tired.
I have one more question.
I feel you.
Yeah, there's a question.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm gonna just tell everyone, hey, listen, take it slow, sign up as a member right now. You have the option later to sign up as an ambassador, just so I get that head start, right?
Yep.
I know people will ask me, well, because with Beachbody, remember, like if you didn't do it right away, you had that fee you had to pay later. So what's the process here?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So there's a one-time business fee whenever you sign up. And so it's $50, but oftentimes there's promotions for like $25. So for example, this month, how you signed up, it was $25 with an order of $100 or more. So really for that, it's like they're gonna pay the same either way, because the cool part too here is that the discount is the same for ambassadors or customers. So at Body, people wanted to sign up sometimes just for the discount, and here there's no reason to do that because they're already getting the discount for 15%.
The
Right.
only
So we'll just tell them like just wait
conversion-
for the month where it's 25 in case you want to save the $25, but really you pay it regardless.
That's
Got
right.
it.
Yep, yep.
Thanks.
Anything else?
Well, I can tell you this, and I'll let you, whatever, close who you want, or Josh to close what you want. But I track all the income that comes into our business. We made a big decision 4 or 5 months ago to try and rebuild. And when we made that decision, like there were parameters in place, things that we have to do in order to regain, the business and the income that we were making with Beachbody. And that's a huge risk because like you're trusting corporate, which we all have learned the hard way to not trust corporate. And like there's parameters that we're looking at going, God, like I don't know if we can hit this. And if we don't hit this, like what happens to our family? Like, is there like really money to be made in network marketing again? Because I don't know about y'all, but I mean, it was like a nosedive for like 3 years there, where we were just like every single year we're like, shit, like we're cut in half, cut in half, cut in half. I will tell you, we've been doing this for 4 or 5 months. I think we're at like 4.5, 5 months. We have in those four, I mean, we are working beyond what anybody could imagine right now, like nonstop.
Since June, I mean, we've been
Since June, but we're really July, August, September, October, and we are at the halfway point of rebuilding the income that we had built over 9 years. So like now, granted, again, it had taken the nosedive, but from where we left to where we are now, 4.5 months later, like the income opportunity is so very real. Now you got to work. You're going to have to work your ass off. Like, the hardest part, the most fuel on the jet is used right before takeoff. So like you really have to be putting in a lot of work behind the scenes, a lot of conversations. And I keep saying the foundation, but like doing it the right way. But all those things like factored in and doing it the right way, creating conversations and like steady working on a daily basis over weeks, over months. I'm telling you, like the income opportunity here is very real and legitimate because we're experiencing it. And we're gonna we'll jump probably again now that we're bringing in these teams.
But that was
But this
before-
was before.
Yeah, that was when our
So
team was
any
still,
of
like,
these awards that anybody else gets, in my opinion, are BS because we had to do it before anybody was coming over to our team. And so like without anybody's help, because we're not getting paid on that this month, we've been able to hit the halfway point. So I'm telling you, like, and that's in like 4 or 5 months. So like work, lean in, ask questions of Josh, ask questions of us. Like right now, like I love the comp plan stuff. I'd rather do a call on that, honestly. So like if you really are trying to understand how to maximize the comp plan, like feel free to reach out whenever. Like Facebook Messenger is great, all that kind of stuff. But like I keep saying, like we're gonna have this big push here over these next couple of days. Lean into it. Do not go ghost. Do not check out. Do not give some BS message that you had this going on over the last 3, 4 days, and that's why like you were just nowhere to be found. Like we've heard it all before. Lean in, embrace the momentum, embrace the growth, and I'm telling you, you guys are going to be rewarded for it.
and please use us. Like we would be happy to set up one-on-one calls with anyone that we can help too. Like just know we're like a big family here and we just want all of you to win. So feel free to
100%.
reach out at any point.
I think, Jake, it'd be a good idea to do a compensation plan call, maybe next week. Let's set something up. Because I've been through it a bunch of times, but obviously you've experienced it firsthand. So I think it'd be good to hear from you.
Yeah, there's certain metrics, and like you guys will kind of see it. I mean, like this is top secret, like 101. Like for us to start maximizing this comp plan, we have to get to key coordinator. So like for us, that OV goal that we're pushing for, this 40,000, it doesn't even get us to key coordinator. But like the brilliant part of it, I think, is that it is obtainable for our team. And again, all these things were in place before we started having all these like great teams and leaders joining us. So like as you guys are thinking about building your own businesses, finding goals that our team could hit has been everything, because they're pushing for it with us. And that's why I love OV. That's why we're not going anywhere on the OV train. Like I want to just keep building our organizational volume, but like pointing people towards a goal that we can all work together for and we can achieve. We have not, I'll tell you, this is the craziest thing. We have not, sorry, double knots, but have not hit our OV goal every month that we've done it. And then we railroad it. So like, it's like the team gets going and everybody's got conversations, and now we're passing it by 5,000, 10,000. Like our goal last month was like 20,000. We ended at like 35,000. So
And I
like,
want to tell you, this is not with people that have viral social media following. This is
100%.
with people that are hard workers, you know, and they just like to take care of people. So
or like hard workers, or like I hate when people call themselves failed diamonds or failed 1 stars or failed 2 star. I hate that, but like that's how people started seeing themselves, and they're coming over here and they're still winning. But like comp plan maximization is like the best part of this. Once we start transitioning away to like getting up and off the ground, talking the 201, the 301 of making sure you guys are making the very most money you possibly can at Shackley, like let's absolutely do it.
yeah. All right. Well, thanks guys. This was so fun.
All
Thanks,
right.
y'all.
Yeah, thank you guys. Let's set up a call for next week. That'd be good for the comp plan. And we're gonna have a lot more new people too. I got a bunch more people signing up here shortly, but yeah, that was an awesome call. Thank you guys so much. And guys, I've got a lot of ideas going through my head, and I'll try to put them together and then come and present them to the team and whatnot. And Jake and Amber work with you guys too, and maybe put some of these things together. But all right, it is my bedtime, by the way. Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed and then get back up and start doing calls again.
Well, thank you all for your time. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thanks for your time.
All right, see you guys.
Yep. See you later.
Good night.